Hey guys, this is the Lightkeeper task guide for Provocation. For this task, you do have to eliminate 20 of any target around the Kiba Arms store while using an Ash 12 on Interchange. And once you have completed this portion of the task, then you will end up getting 4 other subtasks, which is to stash a salty dog sausage, a bottle of moonshine, and also a roll of toilet paper in specific locations on Interchange. And then you do have to survive an extract from a raid. So on the screen right now, I do have a map of Interchange with the respective kill zone marked in the basement, the first floor, and then the second floor. So you will be able to get kills within all of these respective zones on each floor that will count towards the task. You just have to make sure that the kill shot is landed on an enemy that is within this zone. However, you do not have to be in the zone yourself, so you can stand outside of it. They just have to be within the zone when the kill shot is landed. So as mentioned, the kills do have to be completed using an Ash 12, and you can mod this weapon however you like. And on the screen right now, I do have 2 examples of Ash 12s that I consistently ran when I was kill hunting and going for my Master of Ultra achievement, but you guys can definitely alter this to your own liking. Now, I did prefer running my Ash 12 loud because I felt like the boost to ergonomics was more noticeable and beneficial than the boost to the recoil when using a suppressor. And then another benefit to going loud is that you do need enemies to come your way, so it's definitely not a bad idea to be a little bit more noisy, which will potentially attract people to come into your kill zone and then count towards your task. And for the Ash 12, you do have 3 different bullets that can fire, but realistically you only have one option, which is going to be PS12B. My recommendation for this gun is PS12B or bust, especially in the PvP mode, otherwise you are going to become very frustrated. And just so you guys know, you can buy PS12B from proper loyalty level 4 and also ref loyalty level 4 at the time that I'm making this video. And before I get to this task, I will usually start to stock up a bit so I am prepared for when I do end up getting here, since you can't buy that much each reset, and because I literally will not use the Ash 12 with the other 2 bullets. So if you guys do want to knock out this task as fast and efficiently as possible, then buy your PS12B on each trader restock. Now, once all the kills are completed, then you will get the second portion of the task, which is to stash these 3 separate items in specific locations on Interchange. And you can do all 3 of the plants in one raid, but the locations are going to be very spread out. So if you are doing this task in PvE, since you do have to have the power turned on for each one of the 3 stashed locations, then you will essentially be running an entire lap around the map. Whereas in PvP, then you may end up getting lucky and somebody else can turn on the power for you. But again, that only does happen sometimes. And not only does the power have to be turned on for each one of the locations of the plant, the reason for that is because each location does require a key, so you will need the 11SR, the 21WS, and both the Kiba inner and outer keys in order to complete this task. And now for this guide, in the interest of time, I will not be going over all the spawns for these different keys, because if you're at this point of tasking, then money is likely not an issue for you, and you can just buy them directly from the flea market, or you can also check out my dedicated guides for these keys that I do have uploaded, and then those will be in the description. Now, as for the 3 items that you do need to plant for this task, being the moonshine, the salty dog sausage, or the toilet paper, then you can just buy each item directly from the flea market. However, the moonshine does also have the additional option of just crafting it at your boost generator if you do have that made, and that way then you will be able to save yourself the exorbitant price that it can be on the flea market. So I will start with the roll of toilet paper because this one will be the most out of your way once you do turn on the power, which will require the 21WS keycard. So my PMC is outside the Ultra Mall, then the big sign for the mall is here in front of me, and if I do turn around and head into this Connex lot, then you will be able to hop up onto these pallets on the left, and then up onto the Terror Group boxes, then onto this bluish gray Connex. Once on here, you will be able to walk up to the red Connex with a keycard swiper on it, and this is where you can use the 21WS keycard. Now, once you get inside of this Connex, at the very back of it will be 2 stacked wooden boxes. As you do walk up to these, then you will get the prompt to plant. Now, as for the salty dog sausage, this does have to be placed inside a Kiba, so again, the power will have to be on, and then you will require the Kiba outer and inner keys. So my PMC is here in the middle of the mall, and then Mantis is going to be right here, Brutal is going to be right across from it, and then the Kiba store will be right here locked in front of us. Now, as you do open up these locked doors, then there will be an alarm that does go off, unless you did go over by Ollie and turn that off earlier in the raid, but that's going to be completely optional, otherwise you can just let the alarm go. Now, once you do get into Kiba, the plant location of the sausage will be in the wooden crate with the green tarp or blanket on it in the back right corner, around the desk, and then behind this chain linked area. And as you are going to leave Kiba, just be cautious because as you know, with the alarm going, then you will be drawing quite a bit of attention to yourself. And then lastly, for the bottle of moonshine, firstly, I do recommend that you place this into your secure container since it is very expensive if you do happen to die before you can plant it, whereas the other items are going to be relatively cheap. So if you do have to pick something to hold on to in your secure container, then the moonshine would be it. And then I will show you guys directly from Kiba where you have to go to use the 11SR key in order to open up the safe room, which is going to be the final plant location. So once you go to Kiba, then you do want to turn right and then go up the escalator that is on your right. Once you get up to the top, then you want to take a left, go into Burger Town, and then go through it until you do get to a set of bathrooms. You want to go into the men's bathroom on the right and then interact with the urinal for it to raise up. And as long as the power is turned on, then this is where you can swipe the 11SR keycard to open up the safe room exfil, which is going to be located in the basement. So once you have done this, then you want to head right back down the way that you came, all the way down to the Kiba entrance, and then end up continuing past it until you do get to the hole in the floor. Once you go down the hole in the floor, then you do want to veer left and then follow this around where you will see a generator and then a floodlight next to a van that you did have to mark for minibus. Now, directly to the left of this floodlight and minibus will be the open safe room door. And once you are getting close to the safe room, then you do want to make sure that you clear all the areas surrounding it as well as inside of it before you just go sprinting in with your guard down, since some people do try and camp in here if they do see the door open. But once you do make sure that it's safe, then the moonshine has to be placed on the couch to your immediate left upon entering. Just make sure that you don't end up hitting the button to extract first by accident before planting, since it is a very fast 3-second extract. And then if you accidentally extracted, then you would have to come back, turn on the power again, hit the urinal, and then go down in the safe room all over again. Now, if it was up to me, I would do this plant last, since obviously you can just extract safely once you have completed this plant, since the final step to complete the task itself is to survive an extract from a raid on Interchange. But whatever order that you guys choose to do them in will be completely up to you, and you can do the planting portion over however many raids that you do want to. So if you happen to just go and then hit the Moonshine Plant and then extract and then come back and do the other ones, that will be completely up to you guys. But once you have successfully planted the item, you won't have to redo that portion of the task. And if you end up dying after planting your third item, you will just have to come back to Interchange to successfully survive and extract a raid. So hopefully you guys found this guide useful and did help you to complete this task. Thank you guys for checking out my guide on this, and hopefully you have a fantastic rest of your day.